is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua has sent a serious warning to Jake Paul, and it is not just talk. While Paul sees this fight as a big money opportunity, Joshua's team is openly discussing how dangerous it could be. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter, warned Paul to understand the risks, saying a punch from AJ could cause serious harm. Former professional boxer Moses Atama
Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua. Really, in my view, it's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area-level fighter, a British area-level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
on
the planet in order to...
Many experts believe Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua is more than a gamble and could be a serious health risk. Boxing insiders like Ariel Helwani have warned that Joshua's power and experience could lead to heavy damage. They say brutal knockouts are a real possibility if Paul steps...
has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. He can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear.
Urged Jake Paul to think about his health instead of the money, warning that one badly timed punch could cause long-term damage. Former boxer Amir Khan also spoke clearly, saying Joshua could seriously injure Paul.
Spark him out in like 2 rounds. Really? Yeah, why do you look surprised when I don't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro, you're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
Well, when you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat styles there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou, so...
And that's why you can't be surprised if AJ's going to do the same to... what's it called again? What?
For Anthony Joshua, his fight is not only about earning money. There is strong pressure on him to win and protect his reputation. Experts like Johnny Nelson say Joshua is in a difficult position. If he struggles or allows the fight to last too long, people may...
Because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an Owen situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasted the distance. What does he tell you about AJ? apart from he's just earned an extra 50 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what do you say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football.
Johnny Nelson also shared his opinion on Jake Paul as a boxer. He called Paul smart for building his brand, but said he does not believe Paul is world-class. Nelson feels Paul is a decent lower-level fighter earning world champion money without following the traditional boxing route. He explained that Paul did not grow up in boxing gyms or work his way through the ranks. Instead, he became famous online first. Nelson believes Paul has made...
He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I give too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Former champion Carl Froch agrees, saying a fight with Paul could damage Joshua's reputation. Froch suggests Joshua may be moving away from a Hall of Fame level career. At the same time, Joshua has said his long-term health matters most to him, explaining that
He's lit, like I've said. He's cashing out. And fair play to him, he's cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really. Because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out. But people would argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. I had to get my opinion out there because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him. Fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to...
Jake Paul, however, believes he can defeat Anthony Joshua. He points to what he sees as weaknesses in Joshua's recent performances. On his podcast, Paul criticized Joshua, saying he lacks toughness and looks stiff in the ring. He claims Joshua's recent knockout loss shows decline and believes the timing is right. Paul says his confidence, unusual style...
People doing this. Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks. and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Paul says this fight is his opportunity to silence critics who claim he only fights smaller or past their prime opponents. By facing Anthony Joshua, a true heavyweight and former world champion, Paul believes he is proving himself at the highest level. He says that if he
fight a real boxer. They said fight someone your size. They said fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Eddie Atlas has a cautious but interested view of the matchup. He warns that the fight may be too much for Paul because of the large gap in experience and skill. Still, Atlas does not fully rule it out. He points to Joshua's recent knockout loss and time away from the ring, suggesting these factors could make him vulnerable. Atlas admits Joshua is still stronger and more skilled, but says he wants to see which version.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing.
Atlas also believes Jake Paul will never become a top-level boxer. Even though he respects Paul's work ethic and business skills, he calls Paul a developing fighter and says he appreciates that Paul trains seriously. However, Atlas does not see him reaching world-class status. He believes Paul has succeeded as a promoter.
That does it for this week's recaps and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you, and that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I give too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just, just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Boxing commentator Aid Oladipo shared a clear opinion, saying if Joshua fights Paul, he expects Ajay to finish the fight quickly. Oladipo said Paul's confidence does not match the danger of facing a former heavyweight champion. He even suggested Joshua could end the fight very early. While he respects Paul's bravery for calling out a bigger opponent, Oladipo strongly favors Joshua's power and experience. Meanwhile, Jake Paul claimed the fight could be worth around $267 million. Reports suggest both fighters could earn about $92 million each, with Paul hinting that
Jake Paul. Jab.
AJ.
Defense.
AJ.
Chin.
AJ.
Footwork.
AJ.
Boxing IQ.
AJ.
Personality.
Jake Paul loses badly to Anthony Joshua, it could hurt his ability to attract fans. Right now, Paul is one of the few crossover fighters who can guarantee strong pay-per-view numbers. But a clear loss to a real heavyweight like Joshua would give critics strong arguments against him. They would say he is not elite and cannot compete at the top level. Even his celebrity appeal could fade if casual fans lose interest. Eddie Hearn has warned that this fight could seriously damage Paul's boxing brand. In the end, this fight is much more than entertainment. It is a higher-risk decision for both fighters. Paul sees it as a chance to prove himself in real boxing, while many believe he is taking a dangerous step. Joshua, meanwhile, may be motivated by money, but a poor performance could harm his reputation. While the fight promises huge attention,
Paul, that serious, he can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, he stands up straight and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like